This was Lulu's 14th litter. Because her puppy count was down, it was also likely her last. She had given so much, but was now worn out. She'd been Lester's mint, a golden retriever who had produced $20,000 worth of puppies over 9 long years. It was hard for Lester to make it on traditional farm income alone. The puppy business helped him bridge the gap. Lulu's large, uniform litters meant eager buyers and good profits for the reliable holiday puppy market. A smallish litter of 4, like this brood, was hardly worth the effort. Next year, Lulu would have to be replaced with a younger dog. While the markets for soybeans, corn, oats, milo, cattle, and hogs go up and down, Lester Donaldson counted on puppies for a stable income that came at an opportune time. The long winter months when nothing else grew on his 160-acre farm in north-central Kansas. It was still early November, but in 5 weeks, Lulu's new litter would be ready to sell. Lester owned 7 dogs, 4 Goldens, 2 Labs, and 1 standard poodle. State regulations imposed on commercial dog breeders applied only to those with more than 4 females on their premises. To dodge any scrutiny, Lester kept 3 of the animals on his own property and then rented space from neighbors where he set up makeshift pens for the other mothers and pups. He sought out silent partners like his cash-strapped neighbor Ralph Williams, who knew not to ask too many questions and who were satisfied simply to look the other way, leave the dogs be, and take Lester's rent money. Lester was getting a little ambitious, building more pens, finding more neighbors, so that next season he could expand his inventory even further. The market for the giant breeds, Mastiffs, Great Danes, and Irish Wolfhounds, was excellent, and he wanted to take advantage of it. The commercial breeders, who owned well over 100 dogs, were like factories. Lester enjoyed the money, but he was small-time and wanted to keep it that way, flying under the radar. He didn't need people from the government telling him how to keep cages clean or when to call the vet. He did just fine without any supervision. He sold his inventory over the internet and in classified ads. He could never keep up with demand. He had a web page that he'd built by dropping in stock pictures of dogs running carefree through flowers in open spring meadows with cuddly puppies tagging along behind. For $100 paid online with a credit card, you could reserve your puppy months before the holiday rush. He called his business Dream Dogs LLC. After he uploaded puppy pictures, he added descriptions that he stole from other web pages and animal shelters. "We call this little guy Zorro. When puppy play gets out of hand, he loves to come to the rescue of his baby sister. Great with kids. Hurry, this little dude will go fast." Lester felt as if dog breeding was honorable enough work. Puppies make people happy and provide the finishing touch on the perfect family fantasy. He also knew that their living conditions might raise the hackles of some, but puppies, like hamburger and milk, are sold as commodities. Santa was coming, and in that run-up to Christmas no one much cared about how his puppies were raised or how clean their cages were kept. That was all in the past. What mattered now was price, appearance, and availability. Some mom or dad would meet him at an agreed-upon halfway spot, excitedly pick up the chosen puppy, hold it in the air, say something predictable like, "He sure is cute," turn to Lester and ask, "Would you take $450? Lester would scratch his chin and say, "He's worth every bit of $600. He would pause for effect, and then ask, "Cash?" And when the buyer nodded his or her head, he'd say, "It's more important to me that little Zorro have a good home than I get every dollar for him that he's worth. How about $500? They'd shake hands, and the deal was done. No expense spared for a happy holiday. Lester would drive home with a fat stack of crisp 20s in his wallet, freshly minted from the neighborhood ATM. Lester entered the numbers for his still tiny puppies from Lulu's most recent litter in the register he kept on his iPad as number 4118 through number 4120, with one anomaly, number 4121. He weighed each puppy on a small portable scale and kept the data in the column to the right of each dog's number. The anomaly was 3 ounces too light. It happens sometimes. Nature does not always offer the uniformity that the dog market craves. It was simple. Golden retrievers have a certain look. Same with Ford Mustangs and BMW 325i's. Without that look, well, the dream just didn't come true. He explained this to his neighbor and sort of landlord, as far as the dogs were concerned, Ralph Williams, and Ralph's 12-year-old daughter, Samantha, that morning as they peered through the wire mesh at the new litter. If they lack that golden look, you just can't sell 'em. In this particular case, Lester thought that the anomaly had problems that went beyond conformation or size. The puppy did not even look like a golden. Her color was not too far off the mark, but seeing her tiny, too short legs, he could already tell the proportions were all wrong. Lester had suspected something that would explain the dog's appearance. Now, as he noted how quiet Ralph's usually talkative daughter was, he was virtually certain. Samantha had taken Lulu out of the pen, something Lester asked her not to do, and had left Lulu unattended. It was his own fault. He should have put a padlock on the door. This little misfit looked very different from her siblings, and even at this stage Lester could tell she'd grow up to lack the elegant proportions of her mother, though maybe she resembled her father. Like other breeders, Lester had seen it before. Different dads, same litter. Some mongrel had wandered onto the Williams property while Lulu was still in heat. Samantha had let Lulu out, or at least failed to properly shut the gate. That was the only explanation.